Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gettysburg College for another edition of Facebook Live. We're glad you can join us this afternoon. My name is Braden Snyder, and today we're joined by a pair of co-captains from the Gettysburg College men's lacrosse team. The Bullets are coming off another outstanding season after capturing their second straight Centennial Conference title and reaching the Division III Final Four for the second year in a row. The team is set to open their season tomorrow with a non-conference game at Messiah College. So let's get to the introductions. Seated to my right is Augie Masucci, a senior from Bernardsville, New Jersey. He is in his fourth year with the team and is entering his first year as a team captain. He has contributed to the team as a defenseman and defensive midfielder throughout his career, playing in 16 games for the Bullets. Away from the field, he is an environmental studies major. And seated to my left is Reed Barbe, a senior from Greenwich, Connecticut. Reed is also entering his fourth year with the team and is in his second year as a team captain. He has moved into the starting lineup last year and finished with 11 goals and 15 assists, earning second team All-Centennial Conference honors as an attackman. In the classroom, he is a political science major. So welcome, Augie. Welcome, Reed. Thanks for taking your time out to join us this afternoon. Reed, I guess I'll start with you. Can you talk about, how the preseason has gone so far? You've been practicing since February 1st, so you've had about 2.5 weeks to be with the team. What are your first impressions?
Yeah, so we've had 2.5 weeks of preseason, culminating with a scrimmage last weekend, which went pretty well. Got a lot of guys through that game, which was great. But practice-wise, we've really brought up the level of competition by really getting after each other, whether it's a simple passing drill, making sure that we're holding each other accountable with the level of energy and just the level of competitiveness that we're trying to bring forth. So, yeah. Definitely had some
Unusual weather here to start, much warmer than usual. I'm sure that's something that you, all of the team is definitely excited about as well.
Yeah, definitely, because we are going pretty consistently. A day off on Sunday, but every other day we're going. So having the temperature be a little higher than usual, we're not playing with frozen turf, which is great for the bodies. We're trying to stay healthy, especially in this beginning time. So yeah, it's going to be 65 and sunny for our first game in mid-February, which is pretty bizarre. So yeah.
Yeah, well, it's be great for you guys, I'm sure, if it stayed that way. But I think we know that there's more seasonal weather coming. Well, before we look at the upcoming season, I thought we'd just take a moment to look back on what the team has accomplished over the past two seasons. You mentioned the success that you had a year ago when the team went 17-3, but you're also 20-1 in 2015, and you've actually put together the best two-year record in program history at 37-4. Now, obviously, the team has completely turned a corner since going 9-7 during your freshman seasons. So I would just be interested to hear from you. What do you think have been some of the biggest factors, that have enabled you to reach these heights? And Augie, I'll have you start and maybe pass it over to Reed.
Yeah. We've really just had a culture change on our team, just making sure that kids are in fall ball. But yeah, that from our freshman year, lacrosse wasn't always the main focal point in everyone's mind, but after that, I know our captains that year had meetings with coach, and they just really changed the culture to make sure that everyone had lacrosse in the forefront of their mind and had the idea that they want to work hard so that we could gain success, and obviously that's paid off.
Yeah, Reed, is there anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, it's just seeing those leaders that our sophomore year really provided us with the tools to move into this success that we've seen these last 2 years through commitment to the team on and off the field, like as Augie mentioned, and really just growing camaraderie through different team activities, putting together videos, all sorts of things that are really just helping us to come closer as a unit is really helping us for sure.
Turning to this season, Augie, I'll ask you this question. What do you think are the team's goals for this year? Is that something you've talked about yet, or what do you think might be the team's goals for the year?
Yeah, of course. We've talked about it. We want to make another run at the CC title. We want to, last 2 years, we've swept the CCs, and obviously that's a goal again. Making another big run in the tournament, and, past 2 years we've gone to semifinals, but we obviously want to break that and make it to Memorial Day weekend, so that's a big goal for us. And that really starts, February 1st and really tomorrow with how we bring it to Messiah.
Let's take a look at the team a little bit this year. Reed, we'll start with you, and we'll look at the offense. You've been an attackman and might be moving into the midfield a little this year, but the team graduated 3 tremendous midfielders. They were all All-Americans, but it does bring back the entire starting attack unit this year. So Reed, can you just touch briefly on the attack and what we should look for this year?
Yeah, definitely. The freshman connection last year between Tommy Heller and Blake Gray was pretty spectacular. They stepped into some roles last year and really relished with that opportunity. So I'm really excited to watch them play. And then also Sean Fumet, another co-captain. He's back on the field this year as the lefty starting attackman. He had missed the entire season last year with an injury. So I know he's super excited to get back on the field and lead the team offensively for sure. And then, yeah, as you touched on, we did lose three tremendous players in our first line midfield last year. We are attempting to step up and fill those voids. We have a transfer, Jack Harvey from Ohio Wesleyan, who's really hasn't missed a beat. He came in the fall, worked hard, and yeah, he'll be on a starting midfield role this year. And we're pretty young, but I think that's going to be a strength, which is a little counterintuitive, but I think just the energy these guys bring is really raw and it's really real. So I'm excited to watch us progress throughout the season for sure.
And then let's switch over to the defense, which graduated some outstanding performers as well, including first-team All-America defenseman. But the team does return the entire defensive midfield, including All-America long pole Chris Palladino, along with 1 starting defenseman and a 2-year starter at goalie. So, Augie, if you could just take us through the defense this year, what should we look for on that side of the ball?
So obviously it's a big loss with Billy and Jeff. But what's great is that Cullen's still down there close, and he has a lot of experience, and he's a great leader down there for the new guys filling into those 2 roles. And returning all the defensive midfield and Dino and having Brady in net will make that transition a lot easier. This preseason we've seen Nick Hill and freshman Mitch Wyckoff have been playing great, getting into those roles, and we have a new defensive coach, Coach Steve Bartolo, who's done a great job of just pushing those kids to really make sure they understand the system. So while we lost 2 very good defensemen, we should have no problem having another outstanding defense this year.
Certainly can't underestimate having a goalie who's been a 2-year starter and goalie, kind of backstop that defense. Well, the team has also added, like you both mentioned, a lot of new faces this year. Matter of fact, 18 freshmen and 2 transfers currently dotting the roster. I guess, Reed, can you just talk a little bit about what you feel as a whole the newcomers bring to the team, bringing in such a large number of first-year players?
Yeah, as I mentioned, the excitement that these kids bring and seeing our success the last 2 years, I think it's just really natural that they come in and ready to work and want to, continue this trend of a winning season. So, I think they've done a really great job mixing in with the team. There's no real, freshmen hang with freshmen. No, you'll see seniors with freshmen. It's really a really strong component of our team, which really makes us better, is our ability to, blur those lines between freshmen, juniors, seniors, and I think that's what makes this team pretty special. So we're excited to have all these new faces and hopefully take them on a ride this year that they'll remember.
Absolutely. Well, as I thought about what we could discuss here this afternoon, one thing I realized, both of you have had a very unique international experience. Now, Augie, yours took place before coming to Gettysburg. As a matter of fact, between high school and college, you were accepted into a global gap year program that took you and 17 other students on a 7-month journey that included stops in 4 different countries around the world. Can you just talk briefly about that, what that experience was like, I guess, and how it impacted you prior to coming here to Gettysburg?
Yeah, so that was obviously a very unique experience for myself, but just anytime you get to see another culture, and I got to see a couple, very fortunate for that, but it just gives you perspective, and that sort of shaped my college career because I've come in with obviously a different mindset, just understanding how lucky I am not only to be at this school, but to be able to play lacrosse here after seeing some pretty rough areas and the conditions that people are in. It's just really led me to not take anything for granted here and just make the most out of every opportunity that I have.
The countries you visited were?
I went to Ecuador, Peru, India, China, South Africa, and Cambodia.
Wow. Yeah. It was all over the map. Wow. Now, Reed, your international experience actually took place here on American soil, but in the summer of 2014, you had the opportunity to participate in the World Lacrosse Championships in Denver as a member of Team Thailand. So you are not from Thailand, but because they were competing in the World Championships for the first time, they were granted several roster spots for international players. So you were chosen for one of them, and actually 2 of your former teammates also shared that experience with you on another team. Jake Adani and Bijan Firazan were at the same event competing for Team Turkey. So could you just talk briefly about what that was like that summer?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very appreciative towards the Team Thailand Association because they allowed me to have this pretty unique experience. A mentor of mine, Payu, who is the owner of Team Thailand, he went to my high school, and I'd met him a couple times, and just, that gave me some really cool experiences about not only through the lacrosse field and, helping to bring together their talents in Denver, but also just appreciating their culture and them letting me into their Thai family. And that was great. And I'm actually looking forward to being able to play for Team Thailand again in 2018 in England, which I'm very excited about for sure.
Just very unique and interesting that both of you have had a chance really to get involved in some very unique experiences. Just a couple of questions left, guys. I guess a very general question. You've been with the team, again, your 4th year. What would you say is your favorite thing about being a member of the Gettysburg men's lacrosse team?
Favorite thing about being a member of the team is just really like the team aspect of it, and having that group of guys that you wake up for 6 in the morning, workouts, and then go off to practice in the afternoon. But at the same time, later that night, just like being able to hang out and just have it be really something that you bond over, and getting to go through all those hard times and makes you just appreciate the more relaxed times all that more.
I'd say my favorite thing about being a part of the Gettysburg men's lacrosse team is just being part of something bigger than myself, which is pretty unique. There's a very special culture within our program, which is just sheds light on the years of competition that Gettysburg Lacrosse has had and the successes and failures that they've gone through. Coach Jancik's really just shed light on that for us through, former players emailing, coming in and talking to us. Most memorable experience there was when we were at Franklin and Marshall our sophomore year, and Coach Jancik, wasn't an easy game. Hats off to F&M because it was a tough game, but I think we won 9-7, and Coach Jancik had won his 400th game, and there was like a bunch of alumni who came and supported the big banner, and that really was just like eye-opening to me because I was just like, whoa, like it's not just about my 4-year stint here, it's about years and years of structure that's been built upon each other year after year. So I think that is pretty special.
So one last thing, just to close this out, if there's one or two keys to success that you could pick out that the team will need to achieve this year to reach your goals, what would you say those things might be?
I think it's a day-to-day mentality for sure, where we have this vision of course, winning the Centennial Conference championship and making a run in the NCAAs, but it's the day-to-day goals where we learn something in practice on Tuesday. It's how can we improve on that and become better that Wednesday. And it's just building on each other, building trust within our program, which will really allow our goals and vision to come into reality.
Yeah, Augie, anything you wanted to add to that? Any keys to success for the team this year?
Yeah, like Reed said, definitely day-to-day stuff, just making sure every practice is as intense as we can make it, and that we focus just game to game. Don't look 3 games ahead. Just the next game up is the most important game we have. And as long as we can do that, then we should have no problem finding success.
All right. Well, that's going to do it here. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Reed Barbe and Augie Masucci, co-captains of the Gettysburg College men's lacrosse team. Thank you so much again, Augie and Reed, for taking your time to talk about the team today. The Bullets are opening their season tomorrow with a non-conference game at Messiah College starting at 5 o'clock. The team's home opener set for this Wednesday when they take on Goucher College here at Shirk Field at Musselman Stadium starting at 3:30. So thank you once again for following along here on Facebook Live this afternoon, and go Bullets!